Welcome, folks. I'm Jabby Okoye, joined by Chara Kirk.
Hi, guys.
We just got out of watching Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We just wanted to give our quick thoughts, our initial impressions of the film, kind of give you guys a hint as to what you can expect when you go to watch it. So I'll let Chara lead because I can be long-winded. So you go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I really enjoyed the film. They do a really great job of addressing Chadwick Boseman's death. They do it in such a way that feels sensitive, that feels right, but then it doesn't really linger, at least in the beginning, and they move on, and then the story, the action happens, but it's still something that's ever present. The movie is really fun. There's lots of really funny moments, laugh out loud moments, great action, and incredibly moving. I definitely cried a whole bunch. Bring the tissues if you're a crier like me.
This is not one-to-one with what I'm about to say, but it gives you an idea as to what you might feel. So for me, this was almost like what Terminator 2 is to Terminator 1. Terminator 2 is an incredible film, and it's better than Terminator 1, but it needs Terminator 1 in order to make sense. And to me, in many ways, this has surpassed Black Panther 1.
Wow.
I know that's like surprising, and I know that a lot of people will disagree with me, but in terms of the emotional core of the film, in terms of the beats that it hits, in terms of the action, in terms of the scope, in terms of what it does with the material and how it takes it into the stratosphere, and like it goes well beyond the scope of Black Panther 1, and the twists and turns in the movie, like with the surprises all the way to the end, and for being a 2 hours and 40-minute runtime film and it not feeling like that for me. When we got to the end of the movie, I was like, oh, okay, like I knew that it was 2 hours and 40 minutes, but I didn't feel bored at all. I didn't feel like it lagged. I felt like it moved along just fine. The acting was phenomenal in the movie.
Stellar. Angela Bassett, I know she's the queen in the movie, but she is my queen. Her performance was incredible. I loved her.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely moved me. She has a moment, if you will, in the movie, and it is a powerful moment. I just felt like goosebumps all up and down my... In terms of the Chadwick Boseman handling, it's about as much as any of us could have predicted in terms of like... Because they show you in the trailer kind of what you can expect.
Yeah.
And I think that while we don't have him, his presence is there. And it's handled very, very tastefully in a nice way that touched my heart.
It's really interesting as well just how deep this movie is. Like, it's a Marvel movie about people going through grief. It handles that really, really well while still being a superhero movie, if that makes sense. You know, it's like, it's really deep. And not only that, but thematically, there are a lot of themes there that I think are very interesting to do with tradition and new technology, the old and the new, and all of that, which I thought was really fascinating. Something that I hadn't really seen so much in the MCU before.
I need to switch arms because my arm's getting tired, so I'm gonna go to this side now. I think that I love this movie. It's like, you know, I just came out of the theater, so I'm trying to be very cautious with the words that I use because I'll only be judged later on, like, why did you say this? And it's like, well, I just came out of the film and I felt this way.
Yeah.
And so coming out of the movie, I'm like, this is definitely one of my favorite MCU films and one that I would love to revisit. And like I said, because of how it builds off the first one, I think that with all the suspense in the movie and how moving it is and the places it takes you, this definitely feels like a film I'd want to revisit several more times.
Yeah.
Much in the same way I would want to revisit my other favorite Marvel films. Because like you said, it's like, it's emotional, but it's also fun. When it goes into that fun territory, it's really fun.
Really fun.
I think that my complaint about the movie, and I'm trying to be very careful how I word anything so I'm not specific at all. My one complaint is that during some of the action sequences, I sort of got lost, especially in the last 20, 30 minutes of the movie. There was some phenomenal action, but like I was just like, I am having a hard time following this. You know, like when you watch something like Star Wars, where like it stacks on a variety of action sequences all happening at the same time, it's done in such a way that feels like it's harmonious. The action building here did not feel harmonious, and that would be my one complaint. But the important stuff, which is the emotional core of the film, which is the heart of the movie, they got that right.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress enough how much it moved me.
I still feel heartbroken, and it's been about 15 minutes since the movie ended, and you know, like when you feel that physical hole in your body, it feels hollow. Like I still have that.
Yeah.
It really, really moved me. They did a fantastic job there. We haven't talked about Namor.
No, we haven't. I don't know how much we're allowed to say, honestly.
I just want to say that Namor is a super badass. We already knew that from the trailers, but oh my god.
One of the important things to me, especially with how good that they're doing it today in cinema, hold on, I lost my monitor here, so let me... One of the things I really appreciate that we're getting today with TV shows or films is a very well-developed villain. And I think that we definitely got that here. The film spends a significant amount of time getting you to understand who this person is, where he comes from, why he thinks the way that he does. It kind of takes you in a particular direction that you think the movie's going to go, and then it goes the opposite, and you're like, whoa, for me, I wasn't expecting it. I thought one thing was going to happen, and the total antithesis happened. But yeah, they do a really, really good job of developing him so that you connect with him in much the same way that you might connect with Thanos or Killmonger. You know, like the way you connect with those villains. I think that it does a very, very good job of establishing their history and who they are and who those people are, which I think is really important. We are thankfully getting away from the days of the two-dimensional villain. And that's part of why the movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes was because it was taking its time to tell the story right and not rush it and just be an action fest that comes and goes and you forget about it, because that would be the worst possible thing. This is definitely a memorable movie. You come out and you take that with you. And I think that makes it hands down one of the best MCU experiences that you could possibly have. And
visually very stunning as well. We know this already from Black Panther, but just the way everything looks, how the underwater world looked as well was incredible. And the music, oh my god, the music. Love.
Well, I thought you might like the music. I was listening to it, I'm like, I feel like this is a Char's mood.
I loved the Black Panther soundtrack anyway, and I liked the score, and once again, they did a fantastic job with the soundtrack and the score. I love the kind of African influences in the music. There was also some other influences as well, which I thought were really interesting. So overall, I think we can all agree that Ludwig Göransson is an amazing composer.
I'm gonna switch arms again because my arm's getting tired. So about the music, I think that for me, it was handled well. Let's just put it that way. I'm more preferential to the musical score than the lyrical music. And there were lyrical songs to help guide some of the edits, some of the scenes in the film. And I'm not as big of a fan of that because I always wonder how it's gonna be taken 20 years from now. Is this music still gonna resonate with audiences in 20 years? Sure. I always fear that it dates the movie and automatically takes it out of being immortal, if that makes any sense. But I think that reflecting on it now, I think that in 20 years, it'll still hold up. I think that overall, the music supervision, shall we say, was done very tastefully and with a lot of love, tender care. The musical score, I love the score. That's one of the things I really appreciated about Black Panther 1 was the score. Even just the Wakanda beats. Yeah. When you hear it, it's so iconic. And I think that they used it sparingly in here. I wish they used that more because I love the sound of it.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I wish they used that more, but overall, I think that the music was done very, very well. So yeah, all around, solid movie. I love this movie, and I cannot wait to watch it again.
I am looking forward to watching it on the first day. We got tickets to watch it with a packed crowd of fans. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Y'all, hopefully you enjoyed this first impressions video. Thanks so much for hanging out. Subscribe, please, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up. I'm Jabby Kawai. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.